When I first got into self-improvement, I thought at some point I would finally feel satisfied. Like that there would be a moment where I can just sit back, look at my life and think, okay, this is enough. But that moment never came. No matter what I did, no matter how much progress I made, it always felt like something was missing. Like I was always one or many steps away from finally feeling satisfied. And it took me a long time to realize that wasn't an accident. And for me, this showed up in a really simple way. When I first got into self-improvement, I was actually excited. I thought if I just improve my life a little bit, I'll finally feel satisfied. My goals weren't even that crazy. I told myself if I just get into good shape, then I'll be happy. Or if I just find something to work on consistently, even without making money yet, then that's enough. But then something strange started happening. Before I even reached those goals, they already changed. Suddenly, it wasn't enough anymore. Now it was, if I get my first client, then I feel satisfied. And before I even got there, my mind was already thinking about bigger numbers and bigger goals. And to be honest, even though I've made so much progress until that point, it didn't feel that way. It didn't even feel like I was back where I started. It felt worse. Because before I at least felt like I was getting closer to something. But now it just felt like I was never going to get there at all. And if you've experienced something similar, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Because after a while, you realize no matter what you do, no matter how productive you are, this enough feeling never shows up. But the confusing part is working on yourself, improving your life, and working towards a goal in the future, this makes sense. Those are good things. Like for example, actually taking action, going to the gym, or building better habits and working towards something. This is stuff that should be able to make you feel more satisfied, right? I mean, this makes sense. So naturally, you assume if you do this stuff, you'll feel better later. That at some point, once you've done enough, once you've fixed enough, or once you've achieved enough, that you will also feel like enough. But if that's actually true, why does it never happen? I mean, you've likely been doing this for years now, right? Why does it feel like no matter how much you do, it's never enough? Why are you getting closer to your goals, but never closer to that feeling of being satisfied? Why does it feel like the more you improve your life, the further away this feeling gets? And at some point you have to ask yourself, what if the reason you never feel satisfied isn't that you haven't done enough yet? What if something about the way you are thinking about this is fundamentally wrong? The actual reason this happens isn't that you're not doing enough. It's that your definition of enough keeps changing. Because the moment you start believing that you'll finally feel satisfied somewhere in the future is also the moment you turn enough into something you haven't reached yet. And as long as enough is something that lives in the future, it will always stay out of reach. Because every time you get closer, your mind just moves the standard forward. It's like always chasing something that keeps moving away from you. Like this donkey. Don't be the donkey. Because the reason the donkey isn't getting the carrot isn't that he isn't running enough. It's that he is choosing to chase the carrot that's moving away from him, instead of eating the carrot that's lying on the floor in front of him. So the problem isn't your life, and it's not that you haven't done enough yet. It's just that you've been expecting to feel satisfied somewhere in the future. Because the future never arrives the way you think it will. There will always be another step. There will always be another goal. There will always be another version of you that feels like it would finally be enough. And as long as you keep chasing that, you'll never be satisfied. Because feeling enough isn't something you reach later. It's something you allow right now. And that doesn't mean that you have to stop improving your life. Hell no. It just means that you're no longer trying to escape this feeling of not being enough, but instead you're now actually choosing what you want to move towards. And once you see this, you also start seeing something else. Because maybe the reason you're chasing all these things isn't that you actually want them, but because you think that they will help you get rid of this haunting feeling of not being enough. But that's a whole different rabbit hole, and I'll make another video about that.